It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Happy Monday, Labor Day in Lincoln, Nebraska. We must have shaken some things up. We got a reunion going on. It's been a minute since we had these three folks together. It's been a long minute. The Starter Heyman text line is 402-464-5685. For Labor Day, some of the crew decided we were going to get up and talk to y'all. And we appreciate you hanging out on a Monday, a rainy Monday. I don't know if this is qualified or classified as a flood, but yeah, pretty wet outside, but that's all right. Come hang out with us. Y'all stay dry. We did the lifting for you. You can follow on all the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961, and then download the Ticket app if you haven't done so. Greatly appreciate you doing it. We'll have a full day's worth of sports conversation here on the Ticket. Appreciate you hanging out. Manning the board. He's going to be the play caller today. It's been a minute since I sat across from Nick Sater.
It has been with both of you guys in here.
It's been a minute, and next to us, in between us, the Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. What's happening, gray beard?
It's different getting up, man, at your leisure versus being on time, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Especially with this weather out here, man. It's Labor Day is officially the end of summer. We've now moved into Seattle, Nebraska.
It is real.
For like the last week, and it's going to be the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Bring the rain.
Is it supposed to rain? I haven't even looked that far. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to rain all week or not.
Maybe like Thursday or something.
Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to be hot anymore.
No more heat. Okay.
No more heat.
Until like right before it gets cold.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go 90, 40. And then you know who makes money off of that, Nick?
Who's that?
All the clinics. Everybody gets sick.
That's true.
Come one, come all.
Nobody knows how to react.
Get them all. Let me ask you guys, what's the headline today? Jay Foreman, what's the headline? What's the sports headline? What is the story?
Well, it kind of depends on what part of the country you're at. Obviously, Nebraska is, different. This is their own nation. Obviously, they call it Husker Nation. The headline is different here, but throughout the rest of the nation, it's the Arch Manning disappointment. Ohio State is, held to serve. But I think probably in a national landscape, it's probably the Florida State, Miami, and especially Florida State, really looked a lot different than people expected, and how they beat Alabama. And when you beat a team physically like Florida State beat them, and where it was able to kind of take it to a whole nother level, you got people's attention. Now, here's the problem with that. We've seen this before from teams. Now, I think Florida State is set up for success. Obviously, you got two really good play callers and the coordinators. And then when you have a quarterback, when healthy, he's a problem. But we saw when USC, I think they beat LSU a couple years, right? And they looked different defensively, and then they just took a crash downhill. So, I think that's where it's at right now. There's some surprise teams and teams that looked really, really good, and some teams that kind of were sputtering out of the blocks. But really, let's go the first quarter of the season is when going into week 4, you should have your ducks in a row. Ideally, I mean, at least like have a better idea of what what you have.
Well, some folks, there are some listeners that got upset because last week I kept just kind of forecasting warning, folks. Don't buy that all season hype. Like, just give it time to play out, and the story will play out. And people want to know the ending before the movie starts.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, in this day and age of college football, now you can maybe forecast when it comes to the NFL, with pros who have been doing it for 10 years together.
Because they're known.
Yeah, you know what they're getting. The coordinators aren't flip-flopping all over the place. Head coaches don't change that freely. And we're talking about grown men. We're not talking about college students who evolve from year to year and day to day, as a matter of fact. But most of the teams that we were talking about in week 0 and week 1, we didn't know. Like, we didn't know who they were and how they were going to play together and what the new coaching coordinator for Nebraska. I literally said, we don't know what the receivers are going to look like. We don't know what the offensive line is going to look like. New defensive line, new linebacker crew playing behind them, and it was going to take a minute. And I thought, gee whiz, if that's the case for Nebraska, that's the case for everybody else. And we had 5 top 25 teams take it on the chin, 4 in the top 10.
Yeah, it happens like that. I mean, it's, when you play some good competition coming out, and sometimes you could be ranked a little bit higher than, maybe than you should be because it may be off-season hype or whatever. And I mean, obviously when you're, Notre Dame, Miami, somebody's got to lose, and so somebody's going to be disappointed. And then, when you have Clemson, LSU, somebody has to lose, and the games were so close, it's just like, all right, they just kind of had a little bit more in the tank or a little bit more tidied up at this point. And so you just really don't know how teams are gel and how quickly they'll gel. And to be honest with you, in Nebraska's case in particular, a win is a win. Now you can't be so short-sighted that you just say, okay, a win is a win, and then you like bury your head in the sand. It's like, okay, we need to get better at A, B, C, or D, or whatever the combination is. Because Nebraska's in a little bit different, in a different position than, say, Notre Dame is right now, or like even say like Utah, Clemson or something, because Nebraska is still, learning how to win, right? And sometimes you got to learn how to win ugly. I mean, Notre Dame has done it. I mean, if you want to look at Notre Dame last year, going down to Texas A&M,
absolutely,
I felt like that was, well, we'll see in like 2 years, potentially a program changing win. You go down to a place and you win a slugfest, and you play like you've never played before. And it's not, and people think when I say like you play like you never played before, play tough on the road with a inexperienced head coach under kind of unique circumstances. Brian Kelly leaves after Lincoln Riley takes the job, and then he gets, leaves away. He might have been on a recruiting trip or something like that, I think. It's different. And then whereas like, so they're kind of a little bit farther ahead in the winning kind of deal, right? And they've been, kind of built up a little bit before with, Brian Kelly. And then we're like Nebraska, you go to, yes, it's a home game by fan nature. It's an away game or neutral site by like the setting, and dealing with that pressure of going out and performing. See, there's another thing that when you get to this level as being a professional, which they are now. So you're jettisoned from high school hero to professional. You got to act, prepare, whatever, like a pro, and then you got to go perform. And that's the gray area where you got to learn, okay, I got to go out there and perform. And then you got to have a standard, of what you got to play. And they did it. They were able to play. And I think Cincinnati didn't get enough just due of, that they were going to come in and be well prepared. And when you have a team that can prepare for you as long as they want, they're going to give you a tougher fight.
Nick, what's the headline for you? What's walking into a Labor Day Monday?
It kind of sits the same as what you guys talked about. There's been a lot of criticism Arch Manning's way. And I sit back and I look at it, and did he have the performance that we expected him to have, or folks were expecting him to have? Maybe not, but also how many of those situations is it where you got to go on the road to potentially a top 2, top 3 team and say, okay, for your first start, go ahead and win. I mean, we act like, or not, I say the people are acting like Texas went in and got boat raced. It was a 1-possession ball game. we'd be jumping for joy if Nebraska kept it a 1-possession ball game at Ohio State on week 1.
We did.
Exactly. You have people that are parts of the staff that say, look, remember at Ohio State at halftime, guys were celebrating in the locker room because they were down by 1 possession and they didn't expect to be there. And so that shows the difference of programs and where they're at, like to what Jay just talked about with Notre Dame, to use that example, to where we have this perception that Arch Manning was going to immediately deliver Texas to glory. But in reality, Caleb Downs is still on the other side, who had himself a heck of a day, even though he wasn't necessarily, the stat line's not going to jump off the sheet. If you go back and watch, I mean, there were times he was playing with his food. And Ohio State and Matt Patricia in game 1 under Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator, he lined up Caleb Downs in some real unique spots coming off the edge from a safety spot. Like, there was some interesting things there that Ohio State did that it's going to be tough for a lot of quarterbacks to be able to go into that environment and be successful.
Jay, is that the move of the transfer portal, getting Matt Patricia in as your coordinator? I mean, I think that's his biggest swing for any program, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it now where you get some really established coordinators at the professional level, come into college. I mean, in particular, look at Michigan's defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale. I mean, he if it wasn't for Brian Dable, he wouldn't be in Ann Arbor. I mean, he hated Brian Dable so much. He's like, you know what? Don't even worry about giving me an end of the season review. I'm out. Like, literally, don't even. He's like, Brian Dable was like, where you going? He's like, I'm already on the way home, boxes in hand.
Sir.
Matt Patricia, I think it's a new challenge. You see how Chip Kelly last year. I don't think the gap is that far. These kids are getting paid. And the continuity from the college to the pros is very, very close, because you have pro coaches coming down to learn about the RPO game, the aggressive passing game in college and so forth, and college coaches going to learn pros. So I don't think that's a big a deal. And Ryan Day had to, not make a splash. He just had to hire a really good coach. I mean, you got to think it's transition. You got a new offensive coordinator there, and then you got a new defensive coordinator after Jim Knowles left over kind of a contract dispute. But, back to Arch Manning, I think, part of the problem, and it's not going to change, but the reality is a part of the problem is, you've heard about Arch Manning for 3 years. And the reality is he's in high school, he's never played against good competition. Never. And that's not his fault. He went to a private school and he was a lot of times the biggest guy out there. You saw a little bit of the issues that you saw on the big stage last year, and it's a big game. And I think he'll get better. Now, is he, when you got guys saying he's generational and all that, he's not. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it's stupid to even say that, first of all. Second of all, just let him go out there and play. I think eventually he'll play into a pretty good player. But, they met a defensive line that wasn't playing games.
Those are grown-ups. That was a grown-up defensive line he faced. They were mature. They stayed disciplined. And, yeah, they threw some things at him that he wasn't prepared for. But I think a lot of it is in that weekend. And Nick, it looks like Ohio State is who they left off at.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we can say that about most of the other. Penn State looked like, but I mean, competition,
of course,
plays into it. Nick, who else jumped up at you as this weekend you were impressed by?
Well, I mean, one thing with Ohio State too, there's so many new names at so many important positions, right? Like sure, wide receiver is one thing, and you have familiar names with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. New quarterbacks, you moved on graduated 2 of your running backs to the NFL draft in Travion and then obviously Quinshon Judkins. And then that defensive side of the ball, that entire linebacker edge crew is not there anymore that took you to the national championship last year. So that's what was impressive with Ohio State, is that you're watching the broadcast and it's a lot of new names that you're not as familiar with if you're just a casual football fan. I think the layup answer is Florida State, just because I didn't know what they would look like offensively with Tommy Castellanos. Mm-hmm. I think it shows, though, potentially, and such a small sample size because you can't draw conclusions after week 1. But what Gus Malzahn did creative wise with Tommy Castellanos and using his legs as kind of a weapon in that offense, and a lot of the pre-snap motion that they did with some of their skill sets. We talk about bringing in a lot of new transfers. Florida State's, 95% of the team, it feels like every single time they called their name said transfer from so-and-so, transfer from this place. And Gus Malzahn, who was one of those coaches that decided to move on from head coaching and just be $1 million coordinator, goes to Florida State and has a really, really impressive first game.
Well, there's another coach that went
there
down
sure
there.
Is.
There's
There
another
sure
one that
is.
went down there and took some money.
And ultimately, though, what I thought was it once again showed how important it is to correctly identify a quarterback in the transfer portal era.
Jay, did we miss the layup in that Tony White with some talent? Or are we surprised that he got done what he got done? Or is that just lightning in a bottle?
No, look, Tony White's established himself as a good coordinator.
Yeah.
And a good coach. First of all, he's a good coach. Just because I think sometimes when coaches leave for other places, like, oh, he sucked, and this and this, he's horrible or whatever, and then it's the whole there had to be drama behind it. Sometimes guys just times it's just they part ways, and who knows if they'll cross paths later on in their coaching career as far as anybody on this staff, but. I just think he had a lot of time to prepare, as did, Bama. You could really probably hone in on what Bama wanted to do based on, their skill set, their skill position guys, and the quarterback, because you'd seen him play before.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Bama hadn't seen, the Kyler Murray 2.0, except for when he was at Boston College. And that's a totally different offense than what Florida State displayed. And plus, Florida State has a ton of talent. But as far as Tony White goes, they have depth across the defensive line in this week.
Yeah.
They played – the one thing that I think that really stood out was Earl Little Jr. I played with, against his dad, and his dad played at Miami, is that he went from Bama to Florida State. He's a problem. He's kind of like the Bob Sanders, and he's able to kind of be the eraser. He sets the tone. And so, Tony White just, I'm sure the first thing that he looked at last year's team versus this year's team, he came in with Nebraska. He demanded effort. He demanded consistency. He held you accountable, and just went out there and let the guys play. And they overwhelmed Bama.
Is there a coordinator or a system that you saw this weekend that you would like to play in?
I don't know. They all are kind of the same.
Is it that similar now?
Yeah, they're all the same. They all kind of, you can run a 4-man front, have one guy standing up. Like if you have Perkins from LSU and you're in a 3-3-5 and he just comes up and he's going to just cause havoc. When Caleb Downs comes off the edge, it's just essentially a nickel blitz. But he's lined up there, and his ability to go from zero to the backfield is probably better than any D end out there. And so I think they all, they all play. You like to have freedom, be able to run around and do all that. But I think playing behind a really good defensive line, that are playing well, it probably, bodes well for a linebacker.
There's lots to cover in the week 1 of the NFL as we head to the official week 2 of college football. A couple of things just for the record, so folks know. This is just a Labor Day fix. Don't trip and worry about your early break. We decided we were going to get up and come talk to you on Labor Day Monday. Other folks are still in bed, and that's okay too. But we decided to come hang out and give you this conversation. And sometime in hour 2, I would like to get reaction over reaction from some moments. It's pretty simple that we can jump into it. But Nick, we talked about Arch Manning not showing up.
Yeah.
Who was the most impressive quarterback you saw this weekend?
From a storyline standpoint, is it bad of me to say Tommy Castellanos? The reason,
well, he called it.
All we've heard all season is how he was, what he was talking about, and how he was going to beat Bama, and then Bama comes back and says the disrespect or whatever will be taken into account or whatever, handled. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And so ultimately, Like that was impressive just from the ability to back it up. Quarterbacks, it was really unfortunate. And this is, I mean, once again, unfortunately against some inferior competition. There was a game that was played earlier in the week, Missouri. I don't know if you guys saw Penn State transfer Bo Pribula and what he did for Missouri under center. Their starting quarterback got hurt. Bo Pribula was the Penn State transfer who sat behind Drew Aller, comes in and has 4 touchdowns in replacing their starting quarterback. And so I thought that was really interesting just because we see what Drew Aller has done, or rather not been able to do for Penn State. And it's always interesting to see what just a new landscape, a new scenery can do for a guy after he decides to make a move.
Yeah, well, I think he made the move during the college football playoffs
Yeah.
before he had to. And that was probably the most interesting thing. He was I think they were getting prepared for the semifinals, right? Or the final.
That's right. Yeah, they were getting ready for the Notre Dame
game, and he's like, "Hey, I got to do what I got to do."
Yeah.
And Drew Aller, please
Sir.
don't
Yeah,
well, because everybody thought the 105 and the portal open,
Mhm.
and that was the bad part of it, that the teams that actually got into the college football playoffs got penalized because you start to lose good players. You saw it across the nation, but in particularly quarterback is hard. And backup quarterback, considering that you're about to play Notre Dame, if you get hurt, now you go to the 13 quarterback, season's over. For me, and I'll say it, man, Devin Dampier.
Get him!
Yeah.
Hey,
Get him, Jay Foreman!
Listen.
Yeah. People are going to start to take note.
Listen, there's a reason why they ran your boy, what's his face, that was there for like 85 years.
Cam Rising.
Cam Riser out of Utah.
Played 6 games in 14 years.
Yeah, listen.
Had a neck injury every year.
Double D
Mhm.
was a problem. Look, he got him listed at 5'11", 205. No, listen, you 5'10", 220. That RPO game, if he is not Kyler Murray's bigger cousin,
bigger brother. He's the bigger brother.
Yeah, because he could throw. And, the thing, here's what Utah is going to be a problem. They have 2 first-round picks at offensive tackle, both the right and the left. So when you run RPO, you know exactly what it's going to look very, very clean.
Yeah.
And this dude here, he got to the Eddie. He was he was just running rampant out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just if he stays healthy, and there'll be games where he'll only throw it 10 times because they'll just line up and just beat you up. He was impressive. Utah in general was impressive. Utah's going to be Utah, so you got to really kind of just take it for what it is.
Right.
But him and this new look Utah offense, because it's a lot different.
They get downhill better this year than
they have in like 4 years.
They get downhill on it, and then they defend. They've got some real club bouncers, some real nightclub bouncers on defense. UCLA just looked like, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It was tough.
Utah's schedule is really interesting too, because they have a couple of challenges, like Texas Tech's on there, Arizona State, and I think Kansas as well. But they're spread out enough to where you're talking about. I mean, they're going to be able to be a team that we look back and say we weren't talking about them.
Do they play BYU?
Don't they play every year? No.
Well, this was a part of the discussion because the Holy War.
They do October 18th.
Right. So circle that
I
one.
need to go to that one.
Yeah, you circled that one.
Yeah, because they play BYU the week after they host Arizona State. It's Texas Tech on the 20th of September, and it's at West Virginia, Arizona State at home, at BYU, Colorado at home.
If they get through that gauntlet, that's tough.
You got 3 dudes over 60 yards rushing, and all of them had over double-digit carries.
Outside of Utah, the Big 12 didn't look great this weekend.
No, Arizona State they kind of look good, but
Baylor was disappointing.
Yeah.
Big Ten was 16-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Look, give credit. Give credit for it, and it led us. Jay, we fell for the okie doke too, right? Because we looked at David Braun walking through Big Ten media, thinking, okay, now he's a 3-year project. We have to do the same for him that you have to do for everybody else. But that offensive line in Northwestern, that was Swiss cheese.
Yeah,
that was Swiss cheese. They were being run through, and it was pretty difficult. Jay, on a week that the games are spread out, and now it'll kind of go back to its normal form. If we said what team was the biggest disappointment in your mind? Which team had the one that, you know what, they got some real thinking to do on a Labor Day Monday morning?
Oh, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
Number one, because you're on the big stage, and number two, well, number one, more importantly, you saw how you played last year, and you got kind of like the transition excuse, and it's you know, obviously everybody is allowed to get better, but then this year you look worse. And I'm talking about the penalties, lack of physicality, lack of continuity, you know, at times, you know, potentially being out coached, being out toughed. The things that you heard coming out after that Vanderbilt game where you had players saying that, you know, we got to get guys to meetings on time. We got to put more time in. You had your supposedly all everything. And this is the Odell Beckham effect, right? And Odell Beckham ended up, you know, being a really good receiver. But his apex, I call it, was the catch.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Williams, right now, his apex was the Georgia game, the catch in Georgia. Look, you have 5 drops. That's a lack of concentration. And you also wonder, did the physicality of Florida State scare you? So now your resume is on tape. So that's probably listen, they're all everything defensive tackle is out. And so that does hurt them. But the way you got beat, though, you look tired. You look lazy. You look slow on defense. Offensively, you just look like you were running from your life as soon as you got off the bus. And so that's where they have the most talks down there.
Their
about
secondary coach has some answers to provide today.
Saying the receiver coach, too.
Oh, man. They just look different. Look, we're used to seeing all Sunday guys back there. It didn't look like that.
You got Sunday guys. You got Sunday guys. It's not a lack of talent now.
I just watched them out of lane, out of sequence. They weren't on time.
They're just out there playing.
Yeah. It was a little different. Here's what we'll go to break. We're going to jump to the Nebraska game because I want to give some numbers, and I want to ask you which numbers are the most impressive, or at least mean the most to you both, and then which numbers give you pause. We'll go through some Nebraska stats from Thursday night. Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Gary with Gary Michaels Clothiers Lincoln. I'm here to tell you about our custom shirt program. When you come into the store, we measure your chest, mid-waist, and sleeve length. Enter the measurements in an app, and we create your data fit size. You then try on one of our 99 data fit shirts for the proper fit. After that, pick out the fabric, collar, cuff, placket, and in roughly 2 weeks, your shirts are delivered at the same cost of buying off the rack. And by the way, the neck fits too. Gary Michaels Custom Shirts at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering and finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. It doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in season? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is Labor Day Monday. We thank you for hanging out with us. It is raining sideways in Lincoln. Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman, future legend Nick Sainert, as we hang out on a Monday and bring you some recap and some reaction and overreaction, because those are both the appropriate responses for the first week one. I want to ask you both, if we go through some numbers, tell me if those numbers are important or not. And can we overreact or react to them? Jay Foreman, let's start with this. Nebraska won the time of possession battle almost 40 minutes. Is that a number to circle as having real value or implied value?
I'll say yes and no. I mean, at times when you play against a team and you got to play that way, you want to have the ability to do so. So that is very important, and on the flip side, you probably say if you have time possession, you want more points. But I think, you never got the feeling that the game was – I never felt like Nebraska was lose the game or Cincinnati was going to win the game.
Until the final drive. That final drive, I got to admit, I clenched a little bit.
Yeah, but that would have been more of a byproduct of Nebraska not winning the game, like not doing those things that you need to do to win the game versus Cincinnati coming out and just like beating the brakes off you. So I think the time of possession is important because some games you're going to have to play like that. Maybe the Cincinnati game was one of those.
Nick, what does 39 minutes of time of possession mean to you? Is it valuable, not valuable? What does it mean to you?
Well, I think from seeing it unfold, Nebraska was able to sustain drives a couple of times in that game where they went on 7.5-minute drives and things like that, right? Like the most, this was, I said it on Friday, that one of the more disappointing things from that game for me was that Nebraska's offense went on a 7.5-minute drive and the defense came out and then looked like they had just come off the field 30 seconds before, and Nebraska's offense went 3 and out, and their defense looked gassed, and Brendan Sorsby was able to kind of run through them on that drive that Cincinnati then scored a touchdown to score their 17 points on. That was what was disappointing, because over the last couple of seasons, it's more so been the opposite, where the defense has been able to bow up time and time again, whenever the special teams has put them in an inopportune spot, or the offense has kind of gone out 3 and out quick, and the defense has had to go back out into the field. So that was where I was interested to see, okay, Nebraska's offense went on a couple of drives where they spanned over 8 minutes long, because they did have an element of the ground game and they were able to huddle up and things like that. And they had control early on, but then the defense wasn't able to stand tall on their own, and it didn't really help them out. And so that was where I was kind of more focusing my attention on.
This is what was interesting when you dive into it, that Nebraska time of possession, first quarter, they were equal, 7.5 minutes, give or take. Second quarter, Nebraska held the ball for 11 minutes and 45 seconds, 10 minutes of the third quarter, and 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. Now, the scary part is that 5 minutes that Cincinnati had the ball, it took Hartzog's interception to really kind of settle it. But if that's on purpose, and I preface that and put it in air quotes for radio, if that's on purpose, that means Nebraska had a plan for how they were going to use the clock. I'm just not sure that's what the purpose was. Jay?
Yeah, I don't think you want to go down to where, all right, we got to make one play. I think, you want – I think that what everybody's getting at is the continuity is still a work in progress, where it's like, all right, we do this. We actually have the opposing team's offense in a vulnerable position, right? The problem is, when you have a very elusive and running quarterback, you don't have them in a vulnerable position, because this is the learning part about rushing the passer. When you have a legit running quarterback, you cannot rush the passer like you usually do, and that just comes from experience, right? And that's not.
Say that again louder for the people in the back who just keep talking.
You got to understand it. I mean, but that's look. This is. I mean, obviously, we had problems at times with a running quarterback. This is not. We just talked about Bama. We just talked about UCLA. These guys are hard to defend. That's why they, invented the RPO game. So I think the time of possession is good, where you're able to. I think the biggest thing is you're able to play pitch and catch, and there is a lost art in the lost, zest for the basics, and they were able to do the basics. They were able to keep the penalties low, turnovers obviously low. And so that's winning football. Now, what you have to do is when you want to get to where Nebraska wants to get to, is you got to get them all mixing in the right direction. And there's going to be times where the offense is struggling and the defense plays really, really well. And that's just part of football. And, you might be playing against a great defense where, opposing defenses where our defense has got to make a couple plays, or the offense has to struggle all game and then they got to get the first down. You're like, dang, that was an ugly win, but you know what? It's a W.
20 points is not the number. Like that can't be the Nebraska number. But tell me which one's the bigger number? Nebraska only having 3 penalties, or Cincinnati only being held to 3 passing first downs? Which 3 is bigger, Jay?
I'd say penalties, because that's been a big thorn in the side for this is even previous to this staff. It's been like a Nebraska plague. There's 3 penalties. One that just shows that there's some growth there. So you can see tangible results in a positive way, and you keep your penalties at 3. So if you did 3 for the rest of the season, that's 36 penalties. That's counting all 3 phases. So yeah, it's pretty good for the rest of the season.
Nick?
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I mean, they obviously come in some crucial times. I think that plays a factor too, is when they get called, right? Because if you make it consistent to where you're on inside the 5 or inside the 3 and you get a false start to push you back, you're leaving a lot of points on the board there as well.
You went real specific.
I did. I mean, when it's a 3-point ball game and you're sitting there going, man, Nebraska would like to have a 24-17 lead instead of a 20-17 lead.
It's almost like that stood out to you, Nick. Saying it
big time. I mean, big time. So as long as that, I mean, I think part of it is when the penalties are called, when you commit them. But yeah, I think the penalty number, because it's been such an issue the last decade, is the number that's more important there.
Gentlemen, which number gives you pause? 42 passing attempts for Dylan Raiola, or only 3.1 yards per carry. Yeah, I made that face too when I saw it. Yeah.
I mean, well, that's counting sack yards and all that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's more or less. I just look at against what the running backs got. So Emmett was over 4. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't want to throw it 42 times in November.
There were 10
right?
10 sack yards.
So
total.
But Emmett totaled it 25 for 104?
Yeah.
So he was at 4? Is that 4?
Yeah, I'd be about just slightly 4.1-ish.
Yeah.
So when you go 33 or 40, 30 or 40,
25
30,
for 110. That was his actual.
Yeah, 33 or 42. I mean, if you're 22 or 42, I think the passing attempts are a problem. But when you're 33 or 42, you'd probably be okay with that.
7 of them were to Emmett in the backfield. Yeah. They really
runs.
A lot of it felt like they really tried to establish some short passing game in game 1, and did not take a lot of shots this week. I don't know. Maybe that was because of what Cincinnati was doing. Because
Cincinnati was doing it, and you got to take what the defense gives you. I mean, I think part of playing football is you don't need to force things just to get on here. I mean, I always go back to Penn State last year when the reporter asked James Franklin, it was like, you ain't throwing it deep. And they came out the next game, and they threw like 8 deep balls, completed 1.
Mm-hmm.
Playing winning football is winning football. And, even when you have 4 yards to clip, I'm sure there's probably some cuts or whatever that they probably missed or whatever. And so same with the passes, I think just being able to make the plays at the right time is probably more importantly, the ones where you got to, turn that 4-yard gain into 8. I mean, that extra 4 yards, you do that 3 times a game. That's an extra first down. Number 1, number 2, it opens up the other passing game. I think when you able to do those things in the continuity, and it's just the first game, they're trying to still feel out what works and who can play at this level with this type of intensity and pressure. I mean, because they got a lot of new faces out there too.
Well, that leads to the next question, and we'll go to break and set Nick up for it when we come back. But a couple of things in those 42 attempts, 10 targets for Emmett Johnson, 10 for Hunter, 6 for Dane Key, 5 for Luke Lindemeyer, 6 for Ja'Cory Barney. Is that the right focus? or was that because of Cincinnati? Did Cincinnati take something away, or was Hunter and Emmett the focus coming in? I'll ask you both that when we come back to one-on-one.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln. Do you want boots that actually feel good on your feet? Meindl delivers premium German-engineered comfort. Brought to you right here from Nebraska. Built tough for trails, fields, and everyday wear, and backed by Meindl's Comfort Promise, so you can try them on with confidence. Use promo code THETICKET at MeindlUSA.com, spelled MEINDL, for free shipping. That's MeindlUSA.com. Meindl, comfort you have to feel to believe. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. At Fairway Meat Market, you're family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Are your feet just killing you and you feel like all hope is lost? Say goodbye to discomfort and hello to pain relief at Brown's Shoe Fit. They offer expert advice along with high-quality products to help you find the right solution tailored to your specific needs. Need a different width? Not a problem. Brown's carries a wide range of widths in store. Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q in Lincoln.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment, hour one. DP, Jay Foreman, Nick Stainert. We're gonna give away, Nick. What's the restaurant?
Yeah, so Grata Bar and Lounge, 70th and A, kind enough to provide some gift cards for giveaways this month, and so we gotta think of a trivia question.
Oh, I've got one.
Perfect.
I've got one for the first person on the text line who can answer the question. Who led Nebraska in solo tackles Thursday night? Who led them in solo tackles? And we'll go to the text line. I know some folks on YouTube will certainly answer that, but to the text line, do that. Pass distribution tends to be a focus. Sometimes it is an in-game adjustment, right? Sometimes you have the intention, or you see something on film, and Jay Foreman, you might think, listen, maybe our running back against their linebacker, maybe our third receiver against their nickel back is an advantage. But if you walk into it with Emmett Johnson getting the most targets, along with Hunter, and then you've told me all year, all season that Dane Key is the guy, but then you also find yourself with Luke Lindemeyer having a night. And let me tell you, of all the offensive players, I'm not sure that Luke Lindemeyer was the most impressive. Passing the ball, I mean, him on run block, him as the lead, he was throwing people out the club. So, Jay, is this a byproduct of game plan or in-game adjustment that the numbers fell the way they did?
I think it's adjustment, and that's what you want. I mean, I'm sure I can't speak for any of the coaches, but I mean, like I said, if I was on the team, I want my quarterback to take what the defense gives him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of, that's what Tom Brady made a living off of. They're going to take what the defense gives you. As much as we know and expect and know that Dane Key's the real deal, you think Cincinnati just said, hey, they just picked up this dude out of the portal. I think he might have been like the number one receiver or one of them in the portal. Let's just not focus on him. You get what I'm saying? And so off of that, right, is Emmett and Lindemeyer getting a lot of touches because therefore you want to go to your emergency, not emergency guys, but your guys that are going to, be able to have a little bit less coverage. I said this, on old school leading up to the game. You needed Lindemeyer to make, I always say that Lindemeyer is the type of tight end where he makes that sneaky first down, third and 8, and he gets you 10. Because teams aren't focusing on him. So that, you got to give him credit. He stepped up when they needed him, and he was a consistent outlet. And the run after the catch was probably something that people didn't give him credit for.
Nick, for you.
I would ask this question to bounce back because I'm more interested in your guys' answers. How clearly were we able to identify roles guys are gonna play this year through week one? And because through the reception numbers or the target numbers, taking Emmett Johnson out of it, when you look at the three of Nizea, Dane Key, and then Ja'Cory Barney, did we figure out, okay, Nizea is probably going to be one of Dylan's favorite targets to go to. Dane Key's that trusty third down option. You need a guy to go make a play or at least show up, 6 catches on 6 targets. and then Ja'Cory Barney's the try to get it to him in space. Like, are those roles identified, or are those fluid throughout the year?
I think it'd probably be fluid. I mean, I think, Dane Key can get over top. He can get deep on you. And same with Hunter. I think I probably think that I wouldn't say they rolled the coverage to Dane Key, but they obviously probably put a little more emphasis on him. So then that's where Hunter starts to get an effect. Now, when you play against, what could happen is this: you play against Michigan or somebody like that. They got two corners. They might lock those dudes up. Barney's going against Jay Foreman. He might get 10 catches or 10 targets.
Jay Foreman.
No, that wouldn't happen. I'm just giving him a little, but I think it's going to be game by game, and that's where you want to be dangerous as an offense. I think you run into trouble where you say, okay, this guy only does this thing, this guy only does this thing, and then therefore you're easier to stop. So ideally, you'd like to be able to. We got guys that can play multiple roles, can do different things.
Yeah,
and when needed, that's the most important time. When needed, you have a favorable matchup against Dane Key, against whoever. We got to feed him, vice versa, and that's probably what they, probably felt like this week.
Well, I mean, it rolls into an interesting week, and I think about the importance of beating Cincinnati with Akron and Houston Christian on the frontier, on the horizon, just staring at you, looking like fresh ribs off the grill. So I'm not real sure you're going to find out anything more over the next couple of weeks, other than what else is in the cupboard. Like, what else do you have? There'll be some opportunity for other folks to step up, but we'll get to those questions. We'll talk about the fighting Akron Zips. We'll talk. Well, Jay, this is what what you and I talked about, is that you can't take anything for granted. No. You can't take anybody for granted. So if the idea, we can joke about it, but the reality is, I hope Nebraska prepares like they're facing Michigan. That'll tell me everything. If you come out here and you take them and paddle them out back, I'll feel a little bit better. But that's all in play. DP, Jay Foreman, Nick Sainert, hour 2 coming up here on Labor Day.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th and Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently. Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Mmm! Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. Hour number 2, Labor Day Monday. It is raining. We have a group that have decided to come hang out with you on Monday, Labor Day. Gave some folks the day off. For the folks that decided to come hang out and talk a little ball with you throughout the course of the day, we appreciate all the folks giving up their time to come hang out with y'all, and y'all giving your time to come hang out with us. The Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Early break will be back tomorrow, so no worries. That we'll go back to our regular schedule lineup throughout the course of the day and the evenings as well. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, LO Channel 961. Download the Ticket app because it's good for you. Take us where you are. Answer to the trivia question. The leading solo tackler for Nebraska was, in fact, Mr. Buford. Yeah, Marcus Buford had 5 solo tackles, which was the team lead. Sean Singleton led the team in total tackles with 3 solo and 4 assists. Interesting numbers along the way. Jay, if you accept the win for just at face value, right? Nebraska's win at face value, you won the game.
Yeah.
You had your 24 hours to feel how you felt about it. Then you start to digest and consume what it actually was. So given 72 hours in the meanwhile, now how do you feel about Nebraska's win?
If I was a player?
Right now, Jay, former Hall of Fame football player, watching Nebraska, you're now 3 days after the win.
Oh, it's no different for me. I felt like, of course, I liked the game to have been like 38, what they said, 38-17. I think from my perspective, they won a game that wasn't, probably up to their standard, as far as like going out there playing. The best thing that comes for a team like this is that I got your attention whenever the next practice is and for here on out.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I can reference, because sometimes when you're in training camp, and I've been there where you're like, all right, we're practicing against the same guys and all this and all that, and you hadn't played a game yet. And there's a lot of guys that hadn't played with each other in this scheme with these coaches, whether it's through the transfer portal or by ascension through the depth chart. And I'm talking to you about a certain technique, or this is why this play is this teaching moment is important, whether you're play side or backside. And then I can reference the game. It makes it a lot easier to keep you motivated in practice when we're playing, Akron and Houston Christian. So I've seen those type of games. I've been on teams like that. Matter of fact, in 95, we had to have a wake-up call. 97, we had a wake-up call against Central Florida, X, Y, and Z. So it's, nobody's immune to those type of games. But I think the ability to win when you hadn't been winning is probably the most important thing, because learning to win and be willing to win are the two of the hardest things to teach these young kids in this day and time.
Is winning an in the moment thing, or is that a preparation thing?
I think it's a preparation thing. I mean, because look, if you want to look at the preparation, they've shown the ability to kind of, play, basic football lineup and kind of being able to dominate the game from a time of possession, play special teams better, make some timely plays. And then that's something that, that obviously been an eyesore for Nebraska for some time. So they had to prep and rep that type of stuff in order to you don't finish a game with Hartzog. I guess I'll get to the end of it, right? In previous tenures here, you always worried about 50-50 balls. And I said it. I remember we were at 48th and O Street. I said, that is a practice habit. Competing all the way through the end, right? I think it was more or less when Mike Riley was here and a little bit with Frost, right? Where, you're like, oh, they would just catch it at the very end or whatever. So Hartzog going up and competing at the very end, that's a practice habit. So that's more of a preparation thing. You don't make winning plays by just in the moment. I mean, it does, but that'd be just more luck. So you, you really tend to know your preparation.
Nick, how do you feel days after the win. Again, distance from the moment, the emotion of it. Now, how do you feel about the win?
I mean, I think it's Nebraska went out and in the end took care of business. They got the victory. There's certainly things that you can clean up, but I think after watching also an entire weekend of some quote unquote top 25 ranked teams play, every single team has a lot to clean up after week one. And you cannot draw a lot of conclusions from a win or a loss, right? Like we're the same way we talk about how there's there's still things out. The jury is still out on Texas, the same way the jury is still out on Ohio State. They just passed a test before Texas was able to. Same thing. I think Cincinnati, we don't know what they're going to look like when it's all said and done at the end of this year. The same way we don't know what Nebraska is going to look like at the end of the year when it's all said and done. So take it. I kind of approach it take it with a grain of salt. They took care of business, and when you compare to everything Nebraska's done the last 15, 20 years, week ones haven't been kind to them since about 2017. Week ones have not been kind, whether it's the Illinois game or the Minnesota matchup or the BYU Hail Mary loss or now the Cincinnati game. Week ones haven't been friends of Nebraska's program, but Nebraska's 1-0, and there's a lot of teams that are not 1-0 this week.
Sure.
And so you take it with what you take it for what it is.
Few comments from the stream. Texter says, after watching football all weekend and seeing major teams have issues with lower teams, I don't think Nebraska's win over Cincinnati was bad. I think it was a good win. Drunk Monk says, if you're Nebraska, you got to get better over the next 2 weeks. Execution, finding your rotations and lineups situationally. What are your go-to plays? Build confidence, trust, belief, go big red. Robert says, happy Labor Day. Good morning, dudes. From a 1982 graduate from the University of Nebraska, at this point, let's take all the close wins, runaway wins, and developmental wins. Jay, your thoughts on those?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first week is always the hardest, and I don't think people really understand that. I think sometimes around here, people get punch drunk based on Nebraska's name versus whoever they're playing. And if you want to just live in that world, then you gotta expect that a coach like Coach Satterfield at Cincinnati needs a feather in the cap win after coming off a 5-7, a disappointing 5-7 team or season when he lost, I think, 7 in a row. So that he's going to make sure his team is prepared for the week one, and that's against Nebraska. Finding a way to win is probably the most important thing, and cleanup on on aisle 3 is everywhere, even for the teams that look very impressive. Even for Penn State, that was very, very dominant. Even for Missouri, there's stuff you want to clean up. You can like blow a team out and have more things to correct versus having a tight game and not having as many, corrections or things you need to address. So I think it's just another week for them to get, to the grind. And I keep saying it. This every season is a chapter in a book, and what your grade of your book is at the end of the season. You wish you want to have some extra forwards in the back, and that'd be the college football playoff.
Well, over these next couple of weeks, the Satterfield for Cincinnati, Scott Satterfield conversation is funny because, like you said, they were 5-2 at one point last year, and then lost 5 in a row. That's fine. So finished 5-7. The Cincinnati angle also of where they elected to play this as a home game. There's a lot of people with some ruffled feather, and social media, which social media is what it is. But man, there's a lot of frustrated folks that said, you guys went down to Kansas City, played a home game, and you look up in the stands and there's 65,000 Husker fans.
Yeah, and they tried to massage it by wearing the red.
Yeah.
I would have just wore the black.
Yeah.
And just said, you know what, we're gonna really dive into this moment. Now I think they got more of the gate. I think they got, I heard somewhere close to 6 million.
They get the benefits of it being a home game, financially,
or
sure,
like that, and ensure their program may need it, because obviously when you're trying to compete at some sort of NIL and revenue sharing,
contract buyout.
Well, but that's really
the thing. Like if I'm Scott Satterfield, I'm not too happy with the athletic director. Because this is a massive year for you.
Well, I think that was his post game.
Yes,
it shouldn't feel that way. It landed with me when he pointed out. He says we average 36,000 fans at home. So to go to a place to give up a game
at
home with 36,000 of our own fans and make Nebraska come there and be uncomfortable, we didn't do that.
Yeah, and a hard travel to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I didn't know they drew that many people, quite frankly.
Oh, well, you gotta think they've been a winning program, when Luke Fickell was there. I mean, and Cincinnati is a proud program. Look, I got two of my best NFL teammates that played at Cincinnati. They love Cincinnati. Troy Evans and Antoine Peak Sr. and Antoine Peak Jr. I used to change his diapers. He was out there playing against Nebraska, number 46. And so they look their fan base,
and that's 90. That number is 96% capacity of the stadium. So they're playing in a full stadium at home.
They would have had people where they could have sold some, seats for the lawn and all that. I mean, my oldest uncle went to Cincinnati because at that time that they accepted African American offensive linemen. So they're a proud program, and so it's all. You know what it reminds me of, though, and I hope it doesn't work out for it just because. Scott Satterfield, he is a nice guy. He's a very nice. He's a good coach too.
All the reports say that
he's a nice guy, a great coach. You you don't get to that level without being a great coach. It reminds me of Texas A&M when Jimbo Fisher was there, when the athletic director came out there and they raised $125 million. Well, the 75 went to Jimbo 4 weeks later. We were like, get out of town. And now we got $6 million potentially to not only pay your buyout, but the staff's buyout here in the future.
Do we see something similar happen at Alabama soon while we're on this conversation of buyouts?
Boy, it took them 6 minutes after final horn.
The buyout
just for talk about his hot seat.
For context, the buyout is a little over $69 million for Kalen DeBoer.
It's not happening. The buyouts now are gone.
Okay.
The going and stroking those checks are gone.
Are you so
you stuck?
You stuck.
You hope you're number one. You got to say, look, DeBoer is a good coach.
Yeah.
The adjustment for him is
SEC versus coaching at Washington. Different planets.
Correct. And the expectations and the standard is significantly different. I think eventually he'll get going.
So is this the cleanse of coaches and these buyouts? Is that what's happening?
No, if I'm a coach and I'm coaching agent now, then we steady moving.
I was gonna say, do coaches still have all the leverage?
They got if you're a good coach, you got all the leverage in the world. You got all the leverage.
Well, how do you change that though? If you're an athletic director, and because I would imagine that there are regents around the country who are saying, look, never put us in that situation again. If you can't get a coach who won't cost us on the back end more than they cost on the front end, right? If there's no commitment to it and there's no promise of delivery, then stop making the deal.
Yeah, but here's the pushback. The coaches' salaries are guaranteed. So the buyouts are the buyouts. You maybe you're worried about the number, and the buyout maybe should be predicated on whether he gets another job. But if you expect coaches to go coach at a university, first of all, when you're talking about the places that we're talking, they get to come in and they got total control. So they get to come in and just purge,
But can you change that? So let's say Jay Foreman is the new athletic director at Alabama, right? And you get the opportunity, right? And same for Nick Sainer, right? We're going to put you in a position of power.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, okay, as I oversee this budget and this business, what I'm never going to do again is overpay and have a $69 million buyout. And because it's Alabama, that you say, listen, there are people that want to coach here. We know that we can get talent. We know that we can get we get support. We just don't want to waste the money anymore on coaches who don't deliver. So, Jay, athletic director Foreman, what would you do?
The only way that you can kind of get out underneath it is just not the super long contracts. Now, there's not going to be a lot of coaches that want to go coach at Alabama for a 4-year contract because the first year and a half, as we've seen, listen, he's coming after the greatest college coach of all time.
Mm-hmm.
by wins and national championships.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think it's Coach Osborne, but let's be honest, it's Nick Saban. There is going to be a long transition. You know that when you hire him. You should, if you hired him to essentially rinse and repeat, then you would have went and paid Kirby Smart $20 million to come.
Well, but then okay, so then I'm going to flip the question because then it's Jay Foreman's the athletic director. Yeah. Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman calls you and says, "I'll give you your worth for 4 years to come and coach at Alabama." Nick recognizes that it's Alabama. He's going to work with Jay Foreman, and he's got some talent to work from. Plus, they're going to pay him his value for 4 years. And if he does his job, he can get another 4 years. Matter of fact, if he does his job at Alabama, Nick Sainer can go wherever he wants for whatever amount he wants. So shouldn't that be the leverage?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but then you're going to worry about, I guess you can't really go much higher than Alabama. I think you could maybe I think when you get into these long contracts and you're used to seeing something that was pretty much the bell cow of college football.
Yep.
It pretty much made the SEC perception-wise where it is today. Nick Saban was the outlier. Yeah. He gave Vanderbilt credibility. He gave so when that's not where it's at, then you have a coach. He's still a good coach. He probably needs to learn how to have a happy medium to the way he likes to do things and the way it was done, and get somewhere in between. Because if you try to go and be more relaxed and like, I'll call it like when you're, when people say, Nick, eventually you'll hear this, is like when you have kids, they say like you have parents just let your kid free reign. That means it's like no discipline.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work in Bama. You're gonna have to be able to tidy up on the things that are missing, or there will be a catastrophic thing. Because if they move on from him, here's the problem that people aren't recognizing. The coaching pool, is significantly different than it was during Nick Saban's like middle of his tenure and not. The reason people don't realize it's not NIL why he retired. If people, that's the easiest thing. Like you hear people say, "Oh, it's NIL and trans." No, it's not. He felt at his age he had to do more of everybody else's job than he physically or mentally could do. He didn't have to do that before, because you had everybody under the sun. That you had Sarkisian, you had Lane Kiffin, you had Kirby Smart, you had Mel Tucker, you had not Al Golden, but the D coordinator that's at Ole Miss.
Todd Golden was there for a while. Not Mike Bobo.
And then you had Georgia. All the other defensive back coaches. You had Todd Grant. You had all these guys that are now either coordinators or head coaches, at times position coaches and assistant position coaches. Now you get guys, and then they all gone, and then the pool keeps getting smaller and smaller. How's that important? Well, then when now you're trying to go hire coaches, you're not hiring Kirby Smarts anymore, but you're paying them for it. You're paying Kirby Smart prices.
Who was the coach that reset the market? Was it Lincoln?
No, it was Mel Tucker.
Gotcha.
Everybody's mad. And this is the thing. You hear dudes that everybody was mad because of Mel Tucker, right? And there's outlying reasons why they were mad because Mel Tucker got that money.
Sir.
But Mel Tucker got Lincoln Riley paid. He got Brian Kelly paid. Everybody else.
Who got paid first, Mel Tucker or Scott Frost?
Frost, but Mel Tucker got that $9-10 million.
Yeah, Frost was 5 years for $7 million a year.
Mel Tucker got that. Was it $9 or $10 million?
Okay, so
was he the highest paid coach in the Big Ten?
He broke bread.
Yeah.
He got.
Did they fire that guy? Did they fire? Did the athletic director get fired?
Mel Tucker?
No, Michigan State. Is he fired?
Because they just got a new one, Alan Hall.
Hold on, time out. You sound like Eric Mays. That's exactly who you sound like. Hey, you ever seen Eric Mays? Eric Mays is in Flint, Michigan. He asked the dude, he's like, "I'm giving you $11 million to fix the roads. Why aren't you fired?" He's like, DP's going to the region meeting.
I need to know why. That is the thing. Like, Nick, think about it.
What was that, after a 7-win season at Colorado? Because it was a 9-win season at Colorado?
I think it was like 5 wins or something, maybe 6 at Colorado. Dan and Tony retired like late in the year.
But
and
didn't they know what they were getting?
So Mel Tucker signed a 10-year, $95 million deal in 2021.
And people were so
fully
mad.
guared, obviously.
Let me get that.
Third,
shit.
third largest contract ever given to a football coach.
And it was after the whole, guy with the gymnastics
Right.
and all that, and yeah.
No, but I mean,
First of all, he got the Michigan State job because
That's right. It was after a 5-7 season.
And Mel Tucker's
Dang.
Mel Tucker's
he had 1 year at Colorado at 5-7.
And his thing was he beat Nebraska, and he's like all our weight room and all that. And then everybody else had jobs.
Yeah.
And he had a tie to Michigan State, so he took the job, did okay, and then he hit with Kenneth Walker the third.
That's right, out of the portal from Wake Forest.
Who never played.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's a second round draft choice.
That is spectacularly. What a wonderful
because
example.
he was up for an SEC job potentially. Now we've been pimped here. Where remember Frost got the extra 2 years because they thought he was going to get fired on the recruiting trail.
Yeah.
But Mel Tucker got everybody paid. Now nobody knows where Mel Tucker is.
We haven't.
If you have not seen
crickets,
if you talk about Kaiser Soze,
oh,
I know two coaches. First of all, one of my ex-teammates that from Buffalo and Houston coached on that staff. I know him we came in the league together. Then we went to Houston together. He has not heard from Mel Tucker.
Mel Tucker was offered two directional jobs, two Eastern, Western, Central, that he didn't answer the phone because it was less money than what he's being paid to not coach.
But here's the thing, like it's one thing, he's probably embarrassed. He's probably had some stuff he's got to take care of, which is understandable. He's too young. First of all, he's too good of at least coaching.
Yeah.
Not to coach we've seen guys coach after worse, right? And it's the legal process. It's the same thing with Pat Fitzgerald. You got to kind of lay in the weeds, right? But when I talk about my teammate and Mel Tucker are tight, they're boys. Mel Tucker gave him his first opportunity post NFL to coach because Tavares was coaching at a really good prep school in Atlanta and all this other stuff. So
because Mel Tucker was an interim in the NFL for a while, right? With the Jags,
he was a D coordinator with the Jags.
Gotcha.
Did very well because I think he went from there. So, but that's even a bigger thing. He has crossover now.
That is
now you could just leave college. Say, listen, all right, cool. I'm gonna go coach in the pros.
Yeah. He just said, "I'm out."
Nobody listen.
But reset the market for all college football coaches from that point on.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm out.
Right.
Hey, listen. When he says I texted him on because he had two numbers. And they both come back green.
Still not ready.
He blocked everybody.
Hey,
boy,
I'm on cricket. I got a T-Mobile.
He got a cricket phone right now. Yeah. We'll throw it to break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Akron Zips. The Akron Zips when we come back to one-on-one.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford of Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford of Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Labor Day, Monday. Early break will be back tomorrow. We'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. The drive will be up next. AD and Nick will take you through until 11 o'clock. Jay Foreman, the Hall of Famer, and Nick Sainert in this morning. Gentlemen, what is the message? What's written on the board in the locker room at Nebraska to prepare them for this week? What do you say to them first? Nick Sainert, what to prepare for the Akron Zips?
Nobody's called them that before.
The Akron Zips. Not since Jerry Faust. Not since Jerry Faust ran the Zips, where they called the Akron Zips. But Nick, what's on the bulletin board? What do you put on? What's the message?
I feel like you just have to preach execution. Like this has to be. We say it whether they're playing Akron or Cincinnati or Michigan in a couple of weeks. Got to be the business-like approach, but that term is thrown around so often. I would hope that after this game, these next 2 weeks, Akron and Houston Christian, that we come out of it as consumers and say, okay, Nebraska was clean in all 3 phases. The penalties were similar to what we just kind of talked about with Cincinnati, and they didn't shoot themselves in the foot with turnovers. The execution for these next 2 weeks, I feel like that is where Nebraska can show us that they're ready to take that next step. But if they come out, they play with their food, and we're talking about, starters still in the game by the 4th quarter, that's where we have horribly wrong. We have a different conversation.
Jay, what's Coach Foreman? What's on the bulletin? What are you saying to the fellas leading into Akron week?
Oh, the standard is the standard. You're playing a faceless opponent. Like, it's not our fault that they aren't very good. It's their fault that they're not very good. But what we're going to do is we're going to do what exactly we have to do. I mean, the mentality has to be, there's 2 different mentalities where you get, hey, this is a fun time. Let's go around, and you think everybody's just going to just go out there and they're just going to roll over and we're going to just put up the 70 burger. No, right? There's 2 different ways you get to it. You got to pound these guys in a submission and dominate them by 70 points. You can't take it easy on them no matter what. And that's just the standard of how you go to your day-to-day business. And, it's another week. They're in the way. You want, I mean, if that doesn't motivate you, I would say, listen, this is how Indiana ends up being a top 20 team this year based off of playing teams like this and exposing and beating teams like this. So there is a plan, or there is a pathway by not only, the motivation shouldn't be, let's go out here and try to embarrass the team. It's the discipline that will lead you to go out there and embarrass them. And the discipline is something that is the standard, which will be no different in week 2, week 4, week 8, and week 12.
If we go through and we rewind and we say, okay, so this is an Akron defense that held Wyoming to 1 touchdown. Is that a valid talking point for a coordinator to get his guys' attention?
I think so. I just think that ultimately, like, Nebraska's got to. I think we're just all ready to see Nebraska put out a product that is consistent on a week-to-week basis.
Well,
Like,
consistency would be 20 points.
Okay, maybe not consistent. Maybe not consistent on a week-to-week
that's
basis.
not a number, right? I'm not wrong that if we say Nebraska puts up 20 points this week against Akron, everybody's happy. No, that wouldn't be the case. But we're talking about an Akron defense that actually played well enough to beat Wyoming.
Yeah.
They played, let me tell you, Akron actually had a moment. It was 3-0. Akron was at its 10-yard line, and Ben Fenley, their starting quarterback, who, again, is a big-time quarterback, played at NC State, played at Cal before he's at Akron, drives them down the field, and then in the red zone throws a pick in the end zone. And then Wyoming takes the ball, gets a big play from their receiver, a 40-yard pass, and then they score, and it's 10-0. But the reality is, when you actually watch the game, this was competitive. It was physical. It was aggressive. They weren't very good offensively. There's no way to circle around that. But you have a big-time Division I quarterback playing at Akron. He may not have big-time Division I receivers outside, but that dude, 6'3", 215, got arm strength and zip it. He just made a bad throw in a critical situation. So what do you say to Nebraska to keep them on board?
Oh, number one is like, all right, we got to play better than we played last week. And we got to get back to what the discipline or fundamentals or whatever they need to rehab or get better at. And don't look at who you're playing. You better look at yourself. The biggest opponent is ourselves. We're playing. We have got to win this game by hard work and the grind and practice. And then Akron's just in the way. And yeah, you could say, look, you don't ever take anybody, for granted. You don't want to get out there. I think sometimes when you start looking at the points and all that, then you kind of can sometimes play a little bit too tight, because if they come out and make an astounding play or get a fluke pass interference call or, like I always go back to San Francisco and Detroit, where the San Francisco, Detroit defensive back, it bounces out to him. Jennings gets it. They end up winning the game off of that. Then you're like, oh, well, we gave up, a touchdown and Wyoming gave up 0. I think you need to really be talking about the discipline and the standard, because that's what's going to, lead you to, it's not just this game, but after. But you number one, we're not going to score 20 points. We're going to be, probably have a benchmark. But this has got to be demolishing up front. I mean, I'm talking about annihilation up front.
Is there a certain number that you can look at that and say, okay, as a benchmark of, like, I don't want to say it quantifies whether or not it's demolishing, but is there a certain number you look at and say, okay, if we can get to this number, then we took care of business? Or is it more of just a feel?
I mean, just say you come out in the after the first series in the second half and you're up 31-3. Do you gotta keep your starters in to score 70? Because I can tell you something. When we played Pacific back in the day, the coaching staff liked the coach, so they actually worked diligently and harder not to embarrass him. You never coach a team to embarrass. I felt like at times Cignetti got a little like he liked embarrassing teams and talking about it. I think like when Bama plays like the kind of, I call it the Alabama Open, their SEC Open,
Tennessee Chattanooga in week 11.
They're not embarrassing them. They're just going out there and standard and is doing it. So I think if you're at a good point where you see, okay, we played well, we've tackled well, the energy's good and all that, and then you go from there. But then you put even more pressure on the guys that come in, your backup roles, to be aggressive as well, because you got to give them chances to go out there and be successful. So you can't just go, quarterback take, running back take.
Are we wrong? And I think Nick's onto something. Barry Thompson and I talk about it all the time, that knowing how many points you need to score and are planning to score, which aren't always the same. There's a number you need to win, and then there's a number that if you're effectively running your offense at the caliber and level that you should, there's a number that offensive coordinators have in their head. Jay, is that number realistic? Is there a number in your head? Is there a number in your head that says, here's the number we're going to be happy with, and then anything below that we're not happy with?
Well, depends on how long they're playing. I mean, if you have 6 possessions and you score 5 out of the 6, and 4 of them are touchdowns and I guess a field goal, and your whole plan is like, we're going to get guys in. I mean, why wouldn't you be happy with that versus like, all right, we got to score 56 against these guys, and we're going to play our starters the whole game, and then we don't develop any depth.
Yeah, we used to always talk about if we have to leave our starters to get it right. Like really, because sometimes the number, you could have a pick 6, you could have a kick return, you have other things that fall into the number, and your offense hasn't accomplished what you want to accomplish. And we would constantly ask, have we accomplished everything we want to accomplish? Nick, as a fan, what's the number for you? Like, what's the number that's going to allow you to be happy Sunday 9:30?
40 plus.
Saturday 9:30.
40 plus.
Oh, at the end of the game.
At the end of the game.
Because I agree with you, because I'm not gonna. I'm not turning the faucet off.
No. There's never a spot where you let off the gas. Because we saw that start to hurt some teams. We saw it last night. Miami got real conservative, and Notre Dame started creeping back. And fortunately enough, they got the pass interference call on the last possession of the game, and Miami found themselves in a 3-point game. I mean, so I think then you take away, faceless opponent. In no room should Nebraska ever sit there this week and say they are on the same playing field as Akron or Wyoming. When watching that Akron tape, should they ever say so? Yeah, Akron held Wyoming, but are you the equivalent of Wyoming? Do you see yourself as only being able to score 10 against this team?
Well, Jay says this all the time. Like, your biggest opponent is yourself.
100%.
Right? And so Nebraska knows, like, Dylan can tell you the throws that he'd like to have back. He can tell you the reads that he'd like to have back. Emmett can tell you the yards left on the table. Your receivers know which route combinations worked, which ones didn't, which coverages gave them problems. Offensive linemen know. But look, and I would pay money to have Nebraska's grade outs. I wish there was a system that graded every college football game the way they do the NFL, so that the fans can see what the expectation was of the people who put the system in play.
Because if your expectation is just to win the game, sure, like that's priority one.
That is the goal.
But there is more to it, I think, for these next couple of weeks for Nebraska.
Jay, would it be, how rude would it be for us to ask you to grade out players currently? Like, if we said grade out the linebacker group. Is that unfair of us to ask that of you? Is it unfair for you to grade them not knowing what the schemes
it's probably a
were?
little bit, because I don't know the whole defense and all that. I think you can just, I probably can see some things and probably have a good estimation, but I think right now it's like, for them, you need more than one game. I'm not I think around here in Nebraska, somebody does something once, then you're jettisoned to the best of all time. That's I'm telling you. And this isn't an old guy and all this. It's a epidemic. It's rat poison. So on the flip side, if a group of guys doesn't play, I guess, up to what I might think, and I don't even know what the heck they're calling, it'd be I'd lose credibility doing that. So I think
I love that. I love that Nick Saban said this, that nobody was the best or the worst this week. Like, literally, I don't care what you watch.
Right.
I don't care what player, what game. Nobody was the best or worst you've ever seen.
No.
And I think that's fair. We'll throw it to break. We'll come up. We'll give away another gift card when we come back. We'll have the Foreman. It's been a minute since we had a Foreman trivia question. So we'll have Jay. We'll have Jay go into his bag over the break, and then we will have trivia when we come back to the ticket.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor. We want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
There's a career for people with drive. Your state, your troopers. The Nebraska State Patrol is now hiring troopers in every corner of the state in numerous ways. Nebraska troopers are driven to keep our state safe. Visit nebraskatroopers.com to get details on the benefits, the opportunities, and a career you get to define. Accelerate your career as a Nebraska trooper. Apply today at nebraskatroopers.com.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through August at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 1.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.2% interest fixed for up to another 36 months. When planning for this year's harvest, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your Landmark Implement today and check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Labor Day Monday. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman. Early break. I'll be back tomorrow. we'll have a full day for you today. Get you through this rainy Monday. Nick, can you, looking at from your angle, has the rain stopped? Or
no, it has not.
Is it still sideways and
not as bad? Not as bad. I read something. It was supposed to stop around 8 a.m.
Okay.
And so hopefully we're going to start to see it subside a little bit. But it's definitely not as bad as what it was when we all got in here about 5:30 this morning.
It was sideways, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was sideways. Jay Foreman, we're going to try to give away, Nick, give the details.
So Grotto Bar and Lounge, $50 gift card to our friends at the Grotto Bar and Lounge, 70th and A. Delicious brunch on Sundays. I would highly recommend stopping out there, grab a brunch on Sundays.
So Jay Foreman,
a frequent visitor of the Grotto brunch.
Look, you see him smile when he said that. Yeah,
it's really good.
That's a
highly
cosign.
recommend.
Highly recommend.
That's a huge cosign. Jay Foreman, what do you have for the folks?
Miami running back, Marty Brown, does have a Nebraska connection. What high school?
Great question.
Did he attend?
Started his career at North Dakota State.
Yeah, not normally would end up at Miami from there.
Talk about a culture change.
Oh yeah, I mean it's no different than when the Miami used to go to like Cretin-Durham Hall and get kids out of Minnesota.
That's one game we haven't talked about yet. As we have a couple minutes here, what did you guys think about the Miami offense last night? Carson Beck with his first game in a Miami Hurricanes uniform.
It looked like Carson Beck. It looked like he is who he is. He is who he is. Can I say that last night did more for me for him than all of his work at Georgia? Because it validated Georgia. It validated all the work he put into Georgia. I understood him winning at Georgia. It didn't seem like a lot of work. It looked like he put in work last night.
Yeah, I think he silenced some doubters, and I think they're only going to get better. I mean, Notre Dame's defense is more than just pesky. They're a tightened up, tightened up unit. I think for Miami, the thing that jumps out is like they're pretty physical up front. I think they'll continue to kind of progress offensively as they start to get their role definition in there. But I think Carson Beck at the helm, was pretty good. It wasn't like dominating, but he was pretty dang good.
He was like, I thought, one, he made great decisions. His pre-snap reads were on point. His eyes were smart, right? He got to where he needed to get to along the way. Nick, do you have
we got a winner. Still waiting on their first and last name of Troy. Troy is their winner. He's the winner of $50 to the Grotto Bar and Lounge.
Jay Foreman, let him know.
Go ahead.
He went to Creighton Prep.
That's right.
Creighton Prep. Creighton-Durham Hall was his prep school up in Minnesota. So, Creighton Prep.
Creighton Prep, Junior J.
Yeah.
He was good.
Creighton-Durham Prep.
Yeah. Well, that's the same one.
So that's the Miami side. What about the Notre Dame side? Because they usher in a new quarterback in CJ Carr this year. I felt like they didn't feed Jeremiah Love enough out of the backfield. But ultimately, it seems like a typical Notre Dame year where their offense is going to be subpar and they're going to lean heavily on their defense to hopefully try to win some games.
Yeah, well, there was a while there Jeremiah Love wasn't in the game, so you wonder, was it a health thing? And then when he came in, obviously he's very, very explosive. So
he kept flipping himself.
Yeah, he went to that move way too much.
He kept flipping himself.
He's gonna get power bomb.
All I can think of was usual suspects. He'll flip it.
Yeah,
flip it for real.
Yeah. I think down the stretch, though, I think they found a little something with CJ Carr. I think he grew up some. I think playing quarterback in Notre Dame is a little bit different. And
can they reference his dad and granddad more? Can they?
Yeah.
Good heavens.
Yeah.
And let me say this before we go to break and do this third hour. I made a tweet last night and people got upset about it because, listen, after watching a whole weekend of college football, right, an entire weekend, if you collect and accumulate all the announcers who determined that some player playing in their game was going to be a first-round draft pick, there would be 294 first-round picks. Everybody's not a first-round pick in the NFL. They're not in it first-round prize. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I literally, and we have one more game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, yes or no? Do the announcers tonight find somebody from North Carolina and TCU who are projected first-round picks?
Bill Belichick talks about how this guy's an NFL caliber guy.
Bruh, stop it.
That would be a quote verbatim tonight.
Oh, man.
Either that or transfer.
Man.
Every single tackle somebody makes.
Oh.
They mention who
you know who's playing tonight, though.
I do.
Who?
Well, it's Bill Belichick and TCU.
Makai Bears playing tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
out of all the names that we could have said
for
tonight.
the Nebraska
yes, for the Nebraska
He's
connection.
wearing number 4.
You watch that Florida State game, every single time somebody on the defense made a tackle. Transfer from here. Transfer from here.
That's going to be the way of college football from here on out.
Man. All right. Hour number 3 on Labor Day coming up here on the ticket.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
From the capital to castles. Starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Feeling off lately? Struggling with your mental well-being can make everyday life harder, and it can also increase the risk of substance use. Early support can make a big difference. Visit myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com and take the free mental health check-in assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get non-judgmental feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control and supported. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom. Monday, Labor Day. Jay Foreman, Nick Standard. Early break will be back tomorrow. One final hour before we hand it over to the drive. AD and Nick Standard take you through for a couple hours. 402-464-5685, the Starter Hammond text line. If you want to be a part of what we're doing, and you can follow on all the video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. You can download the Ticket app, and you should. Greatly appreciate you doing that. And we appreciate you hanging out on a Labor Day. Labor Day sports, I think the feature, getting through the early part of the day with baseball, U.S. Open, and then tonight you've got a marquee matchup with some names in it. Nick, who's playing tonight? There's a college game?
Yeah, a little North Carolina TCU action tonight.
Yeah, a little action, Jay Foreman. The football general returns and brings in, we were joking yesterday that, a part of me wanted to see Drake May or Mitch Trubisky back in a Carolina jersey standing next to Bill Belichick, just kind of whispering sweet nothings in his ear about North Carolina football. What's the expectation, Jay Foreman? UNC, Belichick, week 1.
I think it's going to be, the expectation is that they're going to be well coached, and they think that Bill Belichick and company are going to be able to like outthink Coach Dykes at TCU. And you're going to expect a team that's going to be really good on special teams, situational football, physical, and play football the right way. Now, look, I think what people don't really give the whole thing or Bill Belichick and enough in North Carolina credit. North Carolina has always had a stockpile of really good talent. And Bill Belichick with Mike Lombardi as his GM and his coaching staff, and obviously his son came from Washington as a defensive coordinator, or University of Washington as a defensive coordinator. They've recruited their type of players. They do have financial backing as far as like the NIL, or in this case, revenue sharing. And they probably feel like they can get the most bang for their buck as far as the salary cap goes. So I think that's what you expect. You expect the hoodie intimidation based on
officials kind of understanding national TV in Chapel Hill.
And it's like, okay, I used to coach pros. I coached the greatest quarterback of all time. And I made, a lot of free agents into the Hall of Fame players, so forth and so on. I'm coming down here in this child's play against these college coaches.
Nick, what do you think? TCU, North Carolina, Belichick, and Dykes.
Well, I'm fascinated just because we're going to see how Bill Belichick utilized the portal and multiple, skill positions as well as quarterback. I also think, from a program standpoint, they're moving on in the backfield from a first round draft pick in Omarion Hampton. And so kind of how do they move on from that? That was the big pull when Mac Brown went back, though. Also it was the fact that there's a lot of talent. You just got to find somebody that they want to go play for at North Carolina. And so TCU, I think it's interesting, that whole conversation regarding they were in the national championship 3 years ago, or however many years it was now. It all kinds of blends together, but they were in the national championship game a couple of years ago, got embarrassed there, but then haven't been able to be all that successful. And we just said it in the first segment of the show, Big 12 didn't have a great weekend overall outside of Utah. And so it's what, from a conference perception standpoint, Big 12 would like to kind of, ruin Bill Belichick's debut with a nice little victory for their conference.
Yeah. After watching this week, right, that some folks dropped the ball. There's some fumbles going on.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Foreman, using your scale of 1 to 7, what's the number? What's the likelihood that North Carolina drops an egg tonight?
Oh, I think it's very low, so like a 2. I don't think they'll go out there and get embarrassed. I think there'll be some growing pains just because, you got out of their like 11 starters that are going to roll out there on defense, 9 are transfers. So there's going to be some growing pains. And they've had to retool their roster via the portal, and so they've had to kind of fit guys into potential starters, most likely backup. Maybe those roles are switched, and then obviously the quarterback position as well, which is huge. And they got Gio Lopez, is a guy that they targeted to be their quarterback for the next 2 or 3 years out of the portal. So in that case, that's where I think they'll be. I think they'll be able to be a little bit ahead of schedule. One thing Bill Belichick, in theory, knows what type of player he wants, the body types and all that. I think they'll be able to be a little bit farther ahead than normal. So I don't think they'll go out there and get blown out. But TCU is good, though.
Is there an avenue where Bill Belichick doesn't work out?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what would be the reason?
Oh, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids. Today's kids. It might have been Jay that we were having a discussion that some of today's kids don't know Belichick. Like they don't know.
Then they probably don't respect him.
Right. Like that's
that's
know.
The bigger part. That's
right?
the bigger. They might know who he is, but they don't respect him as a coach. And it's just because the lack of respect for authority figures across the board. But then they're like, oh, well, that was a long time ago. This is a new age of football. Football's so different. You're not really like they. So, but here's the saving grace for Bill Belichick, in my opinion. In these kids, they're not technically pros. They still have to go to somewhat school. There is a time limit on how long he has them. So that actually lessens the gap for him. So that means, you talk about making the most time efficiency of your time.
Yeah.
I'm sure he does a really good job of that.
That time management was a big portion of whether I think it succeeds or not.
Yeah.
His access to them and then his boundary of them. And he's got some help. I don't know if it's good help or not, keeping keep things in order. But Jay, Nick, from this past weekend, there's some quarterbacks who had a great weekend in college football. And Nick, I need to direct this to you. What is your understanding of QBR?
In terms of like the quarterback rating? Oh, well, so it's such a metric thing to where I suppose I don't know it in detail.
Don't feel bad because I don't know it either.
I don't know it in detail. I've tried to learn about it. But also I don't know if it's a direct correlation to a high QBR results in wins. I don't know if there's that direct correlation.
Yeah, I was trying to get an understanding because they gave the quarterback rankings for the week, right? And at the top of it is Gunnar Stockton from Georgia. And a quarterback rating of 99.1. Now, I don't think his numbers were that great, but I don't know if that's true. Jaden Maiava of USC, Parker Navarro, Jackson Arnold of Auburn, Alonzo Barnett from James Madison. We were talking about him before the show, watching James Madison put it together. A name that at 12 is Devin Dampier from Utah. But, Jake, there's a name that jumped out at me, Jalen Kitna from UAB.
Oh, yeah. Jonathan Kitna's son.
He made the top 10.
Yeah. You know the funny thing about QBR, there is no true definition of it.
No.
And it's
that part. This is literally what it stands for. And I'm confused how Gunnar Stockton is at the top because they played Marshall.
Right.
Yeah, when
it specifically says here, it takes in passes. Well, okay, this is so broad. Passes, rushes, turnovers, penalties, opponent strength, and situational factors.
I tried to understand it.
And also, Jaden Maiava played a team in Missouri State who's playing their first game in FBS. So once again, if we're putting in opponent strength.
But this is why I asked the question, because sometimes, like in the QBR, Dylan Raiola ranks 28th in the country. 28th in the country. And you kind of want to go, okay, this from a measurement standpoint, at least gives me some point of reference. But then you see Gunnar Stockton at the top of it. I went, on what planet did he have the best weekend? And so I'm glad, Nick, thank you, because I was starting to feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, well, first off, another one, it was, I found out it was developed by ESPN.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be just unnatural bias there. I wonder how is it formulated? Do they put just the statistics into a system and it just pumps it out as this is what the QBR is? And once again, like I said, does it factor in the fact of winning or losing, right? Like how much does a high QBR matter if you're out there losing when 50 is the average?
I need for the Hall of Famer to help me.
Yeah, I think well, first of all, ESPN doesn't have a true definition of it, so it really doesn't mean anything. It's something that they can just kind of, I guess, move the goal line, farther back or a little bit closer. I think QBR doesn't mean anything. Everybody fell in love with passer rating, which was a little bit skewed because then you started to have quarterbacks and their agents start to try to get paid off of it. I remember this is that we had a quarterback at times potentially would take sacks so it didn't affect his QBR or for his passer rating. They're all like little stats to kind of maybe, put in perspective. But, there's no way there's 27 other quarterbacks that played better than Dylan, considering who Dylan played against, right? Because I think he was only one of the few quarterbacks that played against another Power 4 team.
Yeah.
If you remove the 3 sacks, Dillon's top-rated quarterback in the country based on QBR.
Yeah. And whoever you want.
Well, then QBR is the most accurate statistic that we ever. I mean, there we go.
For him to what he completed 60-70% of his passes,
33 of 42, 2 tutties, 242.
No picks.
Yeah, and so that's fine where he's at. You can't really, if you're judging your quarterback's play or your offense on your QBR, you're missing the point.
I found it fascinating that when you try to identify what good college football play is going to be this year, like this year,
nobody knows yet.
Thank you. Like, I wanted to know the standard for what we were trying to watch. What's the expectation for Dillon? What does success look like for Emmett Johnson? From the receiving group, what it looks like. And then Jay Foreman, here's the real, how will we identify whether Nebraska's defensive line is playing well?
Well, I think it's going to be like defense as a whole. It's going to be, you want to have your non-negotiables, right? And those are the things you got to do every single day, whether it's in meetings, the weight room, and obviously in the games, and obviously in practices. And then each week you want to be able to add on that. So I think as the season goes, you want to see consistent improvement. If you see consistent improvement, then the defense will play better, and the offensive, then a byproduct, then the team will, reach their goals.
Is it points against, sacks? Nick, what?
I just looked up Nebraska where they ranked after week 1 in rushing defense, and 115th in the country after 1 week, which we all agree that we can't draw conclusions. So that was
Akron has 5 running backs who all had 6 carries.
Yeah.
So that means you have no running back. I just think that, constantly around here is going to be, okay, so say like the defense shuts out Akron, or when they shut out Akron, then it's going to be like, well, it was Akron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you don't get any credit for doing what you're supposed to do. And then say the offense only scores 40 points. Well, now we're not explosive enough. I think at this point, what people had never really, I don't know who was out on the radio saying this or whatever or not, is that when you lose,
you do.
When you lose a lot of experience, right? You got to think the guys and this has nothing to do. I've been on teams like this. As a matter of fact, 95 was like this, and I was one of the players that go into this role. When you lose the amount of experience that they lost, this is not making excuses. This is just factual. One, I can say it because I lived it. Okay. And it's not just the experience of them playing. It's the practice reps. It's the continuity. So then you bring in a lot of guys that have played good in smaller roles. Now they got to play good in bigger roles together. It's just they got to just keep working at it. And really, sometimes when you have a little bit less of a day, quarterback run is hard to defend. It's been hard to defend. What do you think? Tommy Frazier is obviously the best quarterback ever played here for. Quarterback run is hard to defend. Period. And I'll give you another little tip. All these plays, these RPO plays, T.O. was calling back in the 90s. That's why Tommy Frazier was running out everywhere on people. They just ran out of different formations. It's very, very hard to defend. So it's not something they saying, oh, we can't stop the run. You just got to get better at it. It's something that you got to just constantly work at.
Nick, how's that going to look in your mind to identify what's it going to take for you to see, whether it be stat or in a thing that lets you know that the front 6 for Nebraska defensively are playing well?
Well, I think we're gonna start to see it towards the Big Ten conference slate when you start to see guys like the ones that Michigan has, and I almost said Donovan Edwards, and it's obviously not him. But when you get to then Penn State in November, and it's you're facing off against guys like Nick Singleton, and I think that ultimately, I don't know, guys. I feel like it's one of those things where it can come across as disrespectful if on 3rd and 10 they feel like they can run for a first down against you,
like conventional
run.
Yeah,
I think like those types of things. I would take that personal if I was a front 7. And somebody on 3rd and 10 goes, we're going to run it down your throats because we just know we can run the ball down. Like I feel like that's disrespectful.
I think the biggest thing is just going to be yards after contact.
In terms of tackling?
Well, just yards after contact. Because yards after contact, one, it will be predicated on you getting 7, 8, 9 hats to the ball, right? Because that eliminates yards after contact. Just overwhelm them with your presence.
We haven't talked a lot about their tackling from Thursday. Well, good, bad, indifferent.
I'm going to leave that to the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
linebacker to tell me whether that was good tackling or not.
Like, did you feel like there were hats to the ball?
For the most part, I think they did okay. I mean, I think the first game is always the hardest game in tackling.
Why, though?
Because you've seen it just not only in Nebraska, it's everywhere. It's just that you haven't done it. You haven't tackled another opponent, and more importantly, in this day and age of college football, since their bowl game. And you know what I mean? And so it's a little bit harder. And plus, this only comes from experience. The first game, the percentage of peekaboos is like is like 1,000%. Here's what a peekaboo is. It's like I can go in and take on a lineman. My hat and placements could be great, you know what I mean? But then I kind of just take a peek because it's just natural instinct. Now you'll see the next week, they like, oh, I actually need. It's just a repetition thing, so you'll see the tackling get better. That's why I say you see the biggest jump from week 1 to week 2. You see you saw it in Ireland and with Iowa State and Kansas State. You'll see it every. You know what I mean?
Didn't see it with Kansas State.
No, I'm talking about.
I understand.
I'm talking about the lack of tackling and all that.
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
From the fundamental
How brutal
standpoint.
was that building?
But
how brutal was that building? Oh my!
Stop playing in Ireland,
bruh.
Yeah.
Like,
stop playing in Ireland.
Listen,
Yeah.
say that.
What I'm just saying is that you see sloppy back.
Florida State, stop playing in Ireland.
Amen.
Kansas State,
When
Nebraska.
they call you, don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Block
it.
call.
That's
Block call. Block call. We worried about. We're going to throw the break. Here's Jay. You mentioned a thing that is difficult to tackle in week 1 because new opponents. It's actually live. But when we come back, I want your answer to this. Does that make quarterback play more difficult in week 1? Because they've been untouched. They've been untouched by their own defensive players.
Yeah.
And then you go live fire in week 1. It seems to me like it makes it a little too difficult. DPJ Foreman, Nick Sainert. We'll be right back.
Feeling off lately? Struggling with your mental well-being can make everyday life harder, and it can also increase the risk of substance use. Early support can make a big difference. Visit myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com and take the free mental health check-in assessment. In just a few minutes, you'll get non-judgmental feedback, local resources, and next steps to help you feel more in control and supported. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. It doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Labor Day Monday. Nick Standard, Jay Foreman, DP. Jay Foreman, the question was this, that because it's difficult to tackle in week one, because you're not tackling in camp, etc., If we flip it and ask the question, if it speeds up the game too much for quarterbacks in week one, quarterbacks who aren't touched, they aren't taken to the ground in camp, right? And then all of a sudden, here comes Ohio State, and they're sending wave after wave of people at you. How much more difficult is it?
Well, in that case, it's hard for Texas to replicate that D line from Ohio State. They have the closest probably roster that can do that, but majority of the guys that can replicate it are on the number one defense, so they might be practicing on another field. So I think game speed is different. I mean, it's just the anxiety and then the pressure, and you practice. You're guessing you kind of say, okay, this is what they like to do here, but there's no guarantee that they're going to do whatever you practiced against, and so that's where you got to really lean on your fundamentals. I mean, Nebraska was able to do that. They took what the defense gave them. They had guys step up that probably weren't the headline guys in Lindenmeyer, as far as in the passing game. He was a big factor, and like 2/3 of his yards were run after the catch. And then they were able to use Dane Key and Hunter how they wanted, and a little bit of Barney, and then obviously a lot of Emmett. But on the flip side, when you talk about the first game and offensively, you look at Ryan Williams. And this is not dogging the kid or nothing, but I'm just saying all off season, first I think his last name is Brennan, number 5, or his name is Burton, is the better receiver. He was the better receiver throughout 1 through 12 than Ryan Williams last year. Ryan Williams is on a big stage against Florida State. He's not a quarterback, but he probably hadn't been touched all camp, because he's the type of guy that they're probably like, hey, look, he catches it, just kind of tag him off. Well, Florida State was reaching out and touching somebody on him, and you saw 4 or 5 numerous drops in big-time situations, and that's no different than quarterback, where you get sped up because, okay, you hadn't been hit, you hadn't seen, hands flash in front of your face. It might change your arm angle. Arch Manning did that as well.
Twice. Critical
moments. When you didn't have to.
What's the difference that allows and now volume output and stats are one thing that allowed Jeremiah Smith to be in a different conversation from Ryan Williams? Because last year those were the two young receivers everybody talked about.
Ohio State won and Alabama lost.
Okay.
Jeremiah Smith had a couple.
Because Jeremiah Smith had a couple of drops in the first half,
right.
Uncharacteristic ones. Right. But then I think also you saw Brian Hartline, the offense coordinator for Ohio State now, come out immediately in the second half and get Jeremiah Smith a couple touches.
Yeah. Easy touches.
Yeah.
But it is the thing that we talk about, that it's not what you do, it's when you do it.
Yes.
Like if you have drops early in the game and it doesn't affect you winning or losing the game, we tend to be more forgiving and forgetful. But if you do that in critical moments, people are going to talk about it. But wait a minute, under pressure, in big moments and missed drops, missed
the
throws.
same way when Ryan Williams made that incredible athletic play against Georgia last year, everybody talked about it in a positive light.
And it's still talking about
it.
Same with Odell Beckham with the one-hand catch. It's
because that's where it's like those are the two young receivers that everybody talked about last year, but now just naturally it feels like there's been some separation between the two, where Jeremiah Smith is above and Ryan Williams is kind of lagging behind a little bit.
And I just think it was mainly production though as well. Jalen Milroe isn't a passing quarterback, I mean, let's face it. And then Ryan Williams he struggled yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. I mean, but I can almost guarantee this week he's going to come back and whoever Bama's playing is probably going to get a lot of Ryan Williams early and often.
Are we really devaluing Milroe as a passer? Being that, I know that speed being his number one thing.
Yeah.
But he made throws.
He made huge throws, and he throws a really good deep ball. What I mean by that is Ohio State's offense is a lot different than what Alabama ran last year.
Yes.
So the opportunities for Jeremiah Smith is significantly different. How they use him, the body types are different. I mean, he's twice the size of Williams, and so he's able to do different things from a skill set standpoint. When you look at Bama, Jeremy Bernard is more like a Jeremiah Smith, but people don't talk about that dude's an NFL dude. If he didn't cramp up, it would have been maybe a different game. But Ryan Williams is a perfect example of learning how to deal with stardom, and in constant, I call it revisionist history. When they talk about Ryan Williams, what do they always talk about? That Georgia game. Jeremiah Smith, you could probably do the Notre Dame. You got
Oregon in the postseason.
Then in this space, are we giving Ohio State too much credit for? Again, this is a 2-touchdown performance, which by most standards and in most weeks, no matter who they're playing, that's not enough. It was enough for Texas in that particular case, but we're talking about 4 skill position guys with projection forward and up, 3 offensive linemen projected forward and up in that Ohio State team, and you only got 2 scores.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of you won a national championship and you won the game. So you have the built-in excuse. You were in a dogfight against one of the better defenses and defensive coordinators in the nation in Texas. A game, they say a game Texas defense. So when you win, you get a little bit more of a runway. When you lose, and Bama's been losing.
Yeah. Can I say that we're giving the appropriate amount of credit to Ohio State? And this is why I'll say it.
They earned it.
They've earned it. They flashed a graphic at the end of the game. 6 consecutive wins against top 5 opponents. 6 consecutive wins against top 5 opponents for Ohio State. And for everything that all of the backlash about Ryan Day and the inability to beat Michigan, and I understand that is priority 1B, 1A, whatever it is for Ohio State is to beat Michigan. 6 consecutive wins. He's been able to elevate that program from when Urban won a title in 2014. Am I wrong in saying that?
Well, this is where I landed in listening to what you just said. If we said Ohio State has, they can choose 2 doors. On one door, it says beat Michigan, make the playoffs. The other one says lose to Michigan, but win the Big Ten. Which doors is the door for them? Like, so beat Michigan, but if the again, you lose to Michigan, but win the national title.
Oh, they probably take national. They'll eventually
you have to.
Right, so the focus has to be.
Eventually, they'll morph into the national titles, but eventually, when you start winning national titles, they'll be like, you need to beat Michigan and the national title.
It's the third longest active winning, third longest streak of all time of victories against top 5 opponents.
And it's excellent, but it also then leads to Oregon and Penn State asking the same question.
Exactly.
Right? Because wait a minute, who are you trying to be? Are you trying to be the Big Ten champion? Dan Lanning will tell you that was pretty cool, but it sucked getting your head kicked in the playoff. Then Penn State will tell you, oh, it's really cool to have the kind of season we had, but if we can't beat them when we need to beat them, we're stuck. So, Jay,
I think it kind of depends on where you're at. And I think the whole college football playoffs, and it will change again once it goes to 16.
Yeah.
And then when it'll change again once it gets to 24. I think the expectations and standards are definitely lowered, but then they're raised as well, because I think the emphasis will be playing later.
Yeah. That's why another reason why I think there can be 0 conclusions drawn from the teams like Texas or Ohio State, because these teams are going to play 14, 15, 16 games this year. So there's going to be 2 teams that play 16 games. Is that this is not your 12 game season.
Who are those
anymore.
2 teams though?
Well, after this week, you have to say Ohio State is one of them.
You're probably
but Penn State being favored currently over, and this is literally where I wanted to go. This is where I wanted to go and choosing. So we'll start at like the top 20, and you tell me who you would take, even based after a week. But if Penn State, who was the number 2 ranked team, wins their game, Ohio State beats number 1 Texas, Clemson at number 4 loses, Georgia moves up, Notre Dame at 6 loses, Oregon wins, Alabama loses, LSU, Miami. What's your new 5? Simply based on what you saw this weekend, right? And Penn State probably has right of first refusal, being number 2 and just moving up, but Ohio State was 3. and beat number 1.
And see, that's where the difference in the BCS model versus the human element comes into play.
Right.
Because the computers would say Penn State deserves to be
I'm
number
looking
1.
just do both of your eye tests. Like it's now the Foreman poll and the Sainer poll. Jay.
I'm never putting Penn State number 1. James Franklin and Penn State have cost me way too much. I don't trust them. I won't even trust them if they win a national championship. Matter of fact, I'll be upset.
You still look at it. What's your NC, man? What you doing?
So Ohio State, Penn State,
okay,
Texas.
Okay. So Texas
can LSU jump up that far?
And what were they?
9. Can they jump 5 spots for winning in Death Valley? The other Death Valley.
But Oregon was 7. I mean, you moved them.
That's true.
Like they were.
But does
7.
it win against Montana State?
I don't know. This is your opinion.
I mean, if you just going off of this week,
yeah,
I would put LSU top 5. He's another coach I don't trust.
Brian Kelly.
The new D
they have I would say they have a defense now.
Baker, they went in the portal and got anybody and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They got depth now, defensively.
But this is literally why. Like I don't know who the.
Judging out this weekend out there, you got to put LSU up.
Garrett Nussmeier, they're going to sling it. Now, is it successfully slinging around? Who knows? They're going to sling it around the
But
field.
This reminds me of the fun LSU.
Oh yeah,
that looked fun.
They were on defense. They were having a ball.
Like that looked like.
Also, having a linebacker named Whit Weeks, is pretty sweet.
Like
and
fly around.
He played with his brother last year, and his dad's crazy too. That's a whole family of crazy
Whit Weeks.
Yeah, the Weeks family is off the chain.
It looked like Saturday nights in Baton Rouge are now going to be a thing again. Like it's going to be.
Does that feel the same way about Florida State?
Okay, so
because everybody's so quick.
A local media member said college football is better when Florida State and Miami are good, and I didn't react to say, Jay Foreman.
You don't think so?
I don't want them good.
Yeah, you got it like that. When the Canes and the Knowles and Nebraska are relevant, college football is whole. That's why I'm telling you.
You see who he threw in there. You see who he threw.
The Canes.
You can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other.
Come on, Kane Foreman. What are we doing?
I'm just telling. When Florida State, Miami, and then it's always better when Florida is just step lower. It's and you throw Nebraska.
But isn't there something about for the plots? The idea that Florida State would have another troublesome year. Take away all the Nebraska connection. I could care less about that. Just the plot storylines around Mike Norvell. After they put in however much million into their stadium renovation this last offseason, they go out into the portal and they bring in everybody. And if it didn't work out, the conversations would be
about
fun.
A buyout.
One final question.
They'll be trying to resurrect Burt Reynolds. Give me some money.
Look, Burt Reynolds and Lee Corso out there.
Everybody.
Right? Like I need to know, but I need to understand before we go to break. We'll go to break and close out this. But please explain to me why Michael Irvin is talking to officials in the middle of the game on the sideline at Miami. Why is Michael Irvin out there acting like he the assistant coach, he the assistant associate?
That's your boy.
Heck, why? Wait.
That's your team.
We've had guys do that before.
Oh,
hey,
all right.
Hey, Nick, Nick.
I ain't saying it. I'm not talking about that.
Yo, where's Jay Foreman today? Where's Jay Foreman?
Yeah.
How is he on the camera the whole game?
Hey,
the whole
these are the games. These are the games on BTN that they start showing you on the sidelines beforehand.
No,
Jay
I don't be
Foreman
talking
the
to refs.
whole game.
Mike Irvin's at practice though.
I need to understand.
He's essentially a coach.
Who else is at practice?
Nick, did you get invited?
No.
Do you get invited?
No.
I don't get invited.
To what?
Be all up in it. We like
I
Suge
wasn't-
Knight.
I
Like
wasn't-
Suge Knight, all up in the video. We'll throw the break. We'll close this out. Get you to the drive. Gee whiz.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Load it with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day, Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Farmers know it all starts with the soil. At Carbon Connections, they're helping you unlock its full potential. Their high-quality humic acid improves nutrient uptake, boosts root development, and enhances soil structure, so your crops get more from every acre. But it doesn't stop there. With a full lineup of crop protection products, they help you reduce synthetic inputs while protecting yields and profits. Smarter inputs, healthier soils, better returns. It's time to grow more naturally. Visit Carbon Connections on Facebook or call them today at 402-947-1476 to learn how they can help your farm thrive. Carbon Connections, unlocking your potential.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hi, I'm Eli Barnes, Assistant Vice President at Midwest Bank at the 70th and Pioneers and 27th Jamie Lane locations. I love working with families and small businesses right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Banking shouldn't be complicated, and that's why we make it personal. Whether it's opening your child's first account or securing a loan for your next big step, I'm here to help. Stop in today and say hello. I'd love to meet you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's get it in. Final segment. We appreciate you hanging out with us on Labor Day. The Drive up next. AD Nick Sater. Take you through. Jay Foreman, greatly appreciate you getting up with the Roosters. Jay?
Yo.
It's week 1 NFL.
Yeah, I know.
Week 1. What's the game of the week, sir?
I'd say the Chiefs game for me. They're playing all the way over in Brazil. And what are the new look Chiefs? It's not the new look Chiefs, but how do the Chiefs handle? It's not just how they look. They got manhandled. They got embarrassed in the Super Bowl, and then obviously this is most likely or supposedly Travis Kelce's last year. What is this Chiefs team going to be like? Mm-hmm. And I think they play the Packers, right? So
Chargers.
Excuse me.
On Friday.
And so right there, it's like almost like that Clemson, LSU. You're playing not only your first game of the season, but you're playing against the Khakis, and that's a division rivalry game.
Isn't that interesting? That
I mean, they don't even get a warm up with like Seattle or somebody like or like the Carolina Panthers. You're just like right off the rip, you got to play Khakis.
Yeah,
I mean, they put Carolina in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's couldn't either each of those teams played? Jacksonville played Chargers and Chiefs played Carolina.
There's a couple of loaded games this weekend. Obviously with that one, but then you have the Lions at the Packers, and then you have the Ravens at the Bills.
Renewed interest in the Green Bay Packers,
and
very much so,
and also the Lions. Dan Campbell said he is concerned.
Right,
he did, because they hadn't played well in the preseason.
So let me ask this question: opening night is Thursday. The Dallas Cowboys travel to Philly.
Philly gonna beat the brakes off those boys.
Yeah, not even close.
But you got 2 first-round picks that might get some players. Nobody's playing for Jerry Jones no more.
Oh man!
And then
first game for Schottenheimer as well.
Yeah.
Oh man!
At Philly.
Oh man!
Just imagine those fans up there.
Imagine Michael Parsons watching at home.
Just laughing. The group text of his former teammates.
Have fun, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. When
Mozzie Smith, how are you doing against Lane Johnson?
when that playbook leak happens. Philly seems to be in Dallas's playbook. I wonder how that happened.
I asked the question over the weekend. Who is Dallas' starting running back? Do you guys know?
No.
Do you remember?
No, but he's a bruiser.
It's Javonte Williams, the former Denver Broncos running back.
Oh, is he starting?
What
happened to the guy last year that ran for 1,000?
Rico Dowdell?
Yeah.
He gone.
He ran away from home.
They cut him?
I'm pretty 90% sure he's gone.
He ran away from home.
Hey, you find the gym. No, we don't need that gym.
Does Dak finish the game?
He was going to want money.
Does Dak finish the game?
Oh, you better hope so.
Now, physically, he'll finish the game. He's gonna get pulled because they're gonna get blown out.
Yeah, I'm just setting this up. That's all. Don't go anywhere. John and Cortland, Dan, thank y'all. Don't go anywhere. The Drive, AD, Nick Sadet. They'll take you through the next 2 hours here on The Ticket, Labor Day.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating